Everybody. All right, everybody, we're back. And we're going to talk about stereocenters and functional groups. This one is Winter 21, T1, part 4, number 6. It was the last question, obviously, the end. So stereocenters, we're only looking for carbon stereocenters in this class. So some of you may have read about nitrogen being a stereocenter. It's okay to think of it as one if it's possible, but I'm not going to grade nitrogen stereocenters, only carbon stereocenters. I'd like to point out all of these sp2 carbons, all of them, and there are many, are never stereocenters. If you're sp2, you only have 3 things attached. Definition of stereocenter, 4 different things attached. So do not ever put an asterisk on an sp2 hybridized atom. Let's put it on this carbon here. You know why? That carbon, this is the only time I'm going to draw an H. Yes, one of the groups is an H. The other group is an N. The other group is a C with an O. The 4th group is a C that's a double C with a single C. There, everything was different there. You're putting an asterisk on this stereocenter. Same reasoning here. Same reasoning here. Here's one where there's not even an H. It's got this tertiary group here. It's got a C with an O here. It's got an O here and a C without an O here. They're all different. And there's another one. And another one. This molecule. This molecule has saved thousands of lives, by the way. This one's called paclitaxel. It's a go-to chemotherapy agent for breast cancer. It's quite effective. So I like molecules that are important. There you go. I think I got them all. The ones that have H's that I didn't draw, there's one there, there's an H there, there's an H there, there is an H there, an H there, an H there, and an H there, and an H there. We have to know these things. If you see only 3 bonds to carbon, there's an H. I don't know if you wanted to do this one too. This one was it's not going to show up like this on your test, by the way. This was from part 2. You would draw the Lewis structure, and on your exam, I will ask you in part 2 to label the functional groups, which I can do here without drawing it because, you know, I got experience. When you see CO2C that way, or the other way, it's an ester. When you see an NH2 that's not attached to a carbonyl, it's a primary amine. And this one, an O attached to a carbon that's not a carbonyl, is an ether. And this is an aldehyde. It's got the
Why
choke.
is it a primary? Isn't there 2 C's connected to the N?
Well, the N is only connected to this one C over here. The N is not attached to the next C. It's in parentheses.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's a branch.
Attached to the previous carbon, making it primary because it only has that one bond to carbon. And there's only, one stereocenter in this molecule. You would pretty much need the Lewis structure to verify that. But if you looked at the answer key for part 2, you'd see this carbon's the only one really with 4 different substituents on it. This one had an alkene, and this one had another alkene. So they were sp2. And that's also a C double C, so that's never, remember sp2 is never a candidate. So there we have that. So any questions on this? And then if not, what's the next problem you want to do?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, honey. You go
Oh,
ahead.
you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
No, I just want to move on to another question. So if you have questions.
Yeah, yeah, me too. So you're good. You can ask your question first.
Okay. I want to do a question about nomenclature from spring 2018.
Spring 2018, I'm gonna try to bring up here. Spring 2018. Here we are. We'll go here.
Professor, for the rings on number 6, why isn't there any stereocenters? If they're all carbons and there could be an H branching out, wouldn't that make it 4 substituents?
Which ring? This one, or this one?
Generally speaking, the
They're
last
all,
one. Only
every carbon in those rings, I want to point out, is sp2. sp2 is never a stereocenter. Never.
oh, because of the pi bond.
No, because it only has 3 things attached. Nothing to do with the pi bond.
Wouldn't it have an H attached as well?
If you want to have octet violation written on your test and the point taken off, sure, go ahead, put a 5th bond here. These have an H, yeah. Here are the 3 groups attached to this carbon: an H, a carbon, and a carbon. What's your 4th group? There isn't one. No stereocenter. So there we go. So we're very important. sp2 carbons, never stereocenters. So I'm looking for, I forgot what test I'm looking for now.
Spring 2018.
Spring 18.
Yeah, and specifically the evening part.
All right, we got an evening. I think there was only one section there. Spring 18. And it's opening. I'll move it over to the other screen very soon. That's not it. I don't think. Why is it not opening? Sorry, I keep talking to myself here. I think it opened. Yeah, I think that's it.
Can I ask you my question then on this exam?
On spring
It's-
18?
Oh, is that spring 18? Oh, never mind. You got it. Okay, never mind.
All right. I'm going to what section for spring 18? I
It's
can't
part
remember.
3, nomenclature.
Oh yeah, nomenclature. Now it's coming back to me. And which of these lovely molecules?
Yeah, the last one, the big box.
This big box.
Yes.
All right. we will-
Sometimes I'm having issues with drawing the R and S.
Well,
Sometimes they're
I've got that
easier.
covered for you. So we're gonna
Yeah.
come back. We're gonna come back and do that big name right there. And I'll help you out. I have a system that you will do correctly your stereocenters every time with a system, and it's got the same approach every time. And we got 3 stereocenters there to practice with, so it'll be a nice one for us.
Great.
So I'll see you all very soon.